Brilliant. And most importantly, we know we are celebrating Palestine today. We know we're celebrating the Palestinian resistance today. We know that we are celebrating the fact that if we keep going after today, if we keep thinking of Palestine tomorrow, if we keep taking action when we get home, not just here today, we can build the foundations for finally bringing about a global intifada to free Palestine. Now I'd like to introduce next another Palestinian from Nablus. Can we give a big round of applause to Khalid from Nablus, please, everybody?
1, 2, 3, 4, occupation no more! 1, 2, 3, 4,
Occupation no more!
1, 2, 3, 4,
Occupation no more!
1, 2, 3, 4,
Occupation no more!
5, 6, 7, 8,
Israel is a terrorist state!
5, 6, 7, 8,
Israel is a terrorist state!
free, 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 free,
Palestine!
free, free,
Palestine!
free, free.
Palestine!
Hi everyone, my name is Mona. I lived in Palestine for 3 years. Have it right, I am Mancunian. I'm not scared anymore. I was scared to speak. I was scared to go to Palestine. I was scared from the bombings that they bombed us in the Gaza Strip. But I'm not scared anymore, and I need you all to feel it. I need everybody to feel this feeling that's inside me as a Palestinian. And you do not have to be Palestinian. You do not have to be Muslim. You have to have humanity. I want you all to scream and shout for Palestine, because we've had enough. We've had enough of the pain, the suffering. My uncles rang me yesterday to tell me that my cousins felt like they were sucked in by the bombs. Their blood is running, and I'm tired. We are all tired, and Gaza needs to be free. Do you understand? It's the biggest. Gaza needs to be free, and we've had enough. Free, free! Free, free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea!
Palestine will be free!
بالروح بالدم نفديك يا فلسطين! بالروح بالدم نفديك يا فلسطين! بالروح بالدم نفديك يا فلسطين! Our blood is Palestinian! Our blood is! Our blood is!
Palestinian!
Our blood is!
Palestinian!
Shukran, Khalid. Thank you so much. Give him a round of applause, Khalid, everybody. Please give Muna a round of applause, because it's not easy, but more and more people are stepping up. I just want to ring off. We have a big number of groups that have backed today's march. Manchester Palestine Solidarity Campaign, Manchester Palestine Action, Palestinian Forum, Muslim Association of Britain, Palestinian Community Group, Manchester Jewish Action for Palestine, Greater Manchester Stop the War Coalition, Fight Racism, Fight Imperialism, Greater Manchester Campaign for Nuclear Disarmament. So everybody has backed. Today we are getting united, and if we can do it in Manchester, we can do it around the world, right? Now, one thing that's very, very important is that we remember that this is about the Israeli state. The Israeli state is committing atrocities against the Palestinians. The Israeli state is the longest running military occupation in modern history. The Israeli state has just yet again carpet bombed Gaza, a population that is mostly children. The Israeli state is still about to ethnically cleanse yet another Palestinian village, said Zara. The Israeli state, 12 hours after the ceasefire, has just attacked with smoke bombs and tear gas and rubber bullets Palestinians that are praying at the Al-Aqsa Mosque. It is the Israeli state. It is not about Jewish people, it is about the Israeli state, and everybody needs to know that. The British state, every state has committed atrocities around the world, sadly, particularly Western ones, particularly this one. Britain is complicit in what Israel is doing. Britain was supporting because they actually provided the Balfour Declaration, where they handed over land that was not theirs to another people entirely, totally dismissing the indigenous Arab population, the Palestinians. So this is where it started, and this is where it continues with all the weapons and the Israeli weapons factories like Elbit Systems in Oldham that are on our land here, on our doorstep. Are we going to shut Elbit down in Oldham? Are we going to make sure that no Israeli weapons factory can be making profits from the rivers of blood running through Gaza right now? Shut Elbit down! Shut Elbit down! Shut Elbit down! Shut Elbit down! So I'm going to introduce now two Jewish supporters of Palestine. This is Robert Lazar, and it's Jewish Voice for Labour, yeah?
Thank you for asking me to speak. I'm proud to be representing and speaking in a personal capacity on behalf of Jewish Voice for Labour. I joined the Labour Party because of the inspiring example of Jeremy Corbyn and his commitment to the rights of Palestine. Jeremy Corbyn demonstrated throughout his political career that he was committed completely to the Palestinian cause, and he continues to do so. He spoke last week, he's continuing to speak now, and we will do the same. So we will resist all attempts to silence him, and we will speak out on Palestine. Now everybody is hearing that there is a ceasefire, and maybe there's a sense of relief. Well, we don't feel like that, because although the explosions have ended, although the murderous bombardment has ended, the reason why we need to continue to speak is because in Gaza, the siege continues. The deprivation in terms of water and basic supplies required for a human life, all those deprivations continue. In Jerusalem, in Sheikh Jarrah, the occupied territories, demolitions continue. In the same places, forced evictions continue. Ethnic cleansing continues. The occupation is continuing. So the message is clear. There can be no peace without justice. We demand justice for the Palestinian people. And we're not alone in that demand, because there are growing numbers of people all over the world, inside the Jewish diaspora, everywhere, demanding that there be justice for Palestine. And the people in the Israeli government do not speak or act in our name. The people in the conservative-led organisations of the Jewish community in this country do not speak or act for us. So we show our solidarity with those Jewish people inside Israel who have condemned their own government, condemned their own military, and want to live in peace and justice with their Palestinian brothers and sisters. We condemn race, and it's a united campaign. Palestine Solidarity Campaign have condemned the few examples last week in London of people misusing the Palestinian flag and shouting anti-Semitic and misogynistic slogans. The campaign against racism is against all forms of racism. Racism against Palestinians, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, racism against black people. We are united. So finally, I want to make this call on the Labour leadership. You've got to speak out. Demand this government ends arms sales to Israel. Demand this government recognises the free Palestinian state. Okay, free Palestine.
Give a round of applause, and once again we have another big Jewish supporter of Palestine. Can we please give a big round of applause to Nicole, please, from Palestine.
Free Palestine! Free Palestine! 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 Palestine!
I say, not in my name. Nothing justifies wiping out families in one blast. Nothing justifies killing protesters, arresting children, house demolition, expulsion, checkpoints. Nothing justifies military occupation and apartheid. I know persecution in my family. Grandparents, Holocaust survivors. Then in '68, my parents were exiled from Stalinist Poland for being Jews. I am proud of my Jewish identity, and my history should never be manipulated or misused to justify more pain and suffering. Movements that stand for justice, demanding human rights for Palestinians. Israel, you are not being singled out. Where are the sanctions against you? You get preferential treatment to behave with impunity. You get aid from the UK and US. You get science and cultural collaborations. You get to test your weapons and make a profit by selling to countries like us. And we should shut Elbit down. We should close the Shame on you, Israel.
Shame on
And
you!
shame on you, Britain, for supporting them. This is not about Jews, but the Israeli state. It is not anti-Semitic to call out a country that was founded by killing and expelling the indigenous Palestinian population from their homes in 1948. The Palestinian catastrophe. It is not anti-Semitism to listen to Palestinian voices when they call for boycott like us for the sanctions. But this is a tactic
No, it's perfect, mate. You know, you
that
need
is
to start out.
useful,
That's good.
that is used, that was used against apartheid in South Africa. This is not anti-Semitism, but it is anti-racist. It is pro-justice, pro-equality. Because Palestinians should be free like every single human being. Never again means never again for anyone. Never again means never again for anyone. Not in my name. Thank you.
Free!
Palestine!
Free!
Palestine!
Free!
Palestine!
Shalom, salam, peace.
What I mean is, yeah, nobody can rob the children and all the people and the women for the name of the country and the family for the name of the religion. So I want to say, Shalom, Salam, peace. All of you, thank you very much. You can help all of us. We are
Thank you, thank you. Right, okay. Generally, people ask me if you want to speak. We just keep it smooth that way, okay? But why not? We're all for Palestine here, right? Everyone for Palestine here. Now, I've just got to say, right, very quickly, someone is wandering around with a collection here for the mosque, the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem. We have people collecting as well, generally for the groups that are involved. You've got the stalls here. And also, please, there's a stall here. Palestine Solidarity Campaign is one of the main organisers of today. Please give your emails. Israel has gained so much because everybody gives their contacts. Everybody is connected. They communicate. We've got to get that network going. We need to know each other. I know there's some brilliant future activists here. I know there's some brilliant current activists here. I know the young ones are going to go home on Snapchat and Instagram and TikTok and everything else, right? So we've got to stay connected. We've got to connect, right? So keep the momentum, everybody, and put your email down and go to the stall here, Palestine Solidarity Campaign. Give your email. We're networking everybody so that we can get everybody out and do everything together in the future, right? Now, we've only got about another 4 or 5 speeches before we march, okay? We're going to march, okay? A big march, all right? We've only got another 4 or 5. But in the middle, there's a load of cyclists that have cycled over from Oldham, young guys from Oldham who wanted to cycle in with Palestinian flags from Oldham. And they'll be arriving in a couple of minutes, so we're going to carry on with the speeches, but in the middle of it, some guys are going to arrive around there. We're going to give a big round of applause. But they are all wearing a picture of a Palestinian child, okay, that has sadly passed in the horrific...
This regime that Israel has committed, including killing over 250 people, including 66 children. These are war crimes, and we condemn this entirely. But Israel will not be able to get away with a single crime without the support, the external support of imperialism. British imperialism, represented by the Tory and the Labour Party, support Israel 100%. Despite all these murders, there has not been a single condemnation of these crimes by the British government or even by the Labour Party. They prance around the world talking about human rights and British values, and yet the local MP last week, Afsal Khan, released a statement condemning Hamas rocket attacks as a war crime. This is absolutely disgusting. The Palestinian people, the Palestinian resistance, any occupied people have the right to resist. That is the only right they have, the right to resist. They have the right to fire as many rockets into Israel as they wish. We cannot, from Britain, lecture the Palestinians on what methods they should use to resist. We can only show them solidarity. We can only support their campaign to free themselves from what is the largest concentration camp in the world, which is the Gaza Strip. Make no mistake, the occupation of Palestine, the ethnic cleansing of East Jerusalem, the siege of Gaza, which has gone on for almost 15 years now, is supported 100% by the British establishment, Labour and Tory. And so it is up to us. We cannot rely on the politicians. We cannot rely on the Labour Party. Keir Starmer has already said it, he made it quite clear that he's a Zionist, that he supports Zionism unconditionally. Even the left wing of the Labour Party, Jeremy Corbyn, doesn't support BDS. Go and Google it. There's an article in The Guardian from 2017. Even Jeremy Corbyn, the most left wing, the most progressive, even he doesn't support boycott and sanctions of BDS on Israel. So it's up to us. We want to march, and we want to march to Marks and Spencer's. Now let me tell you about Marks and Spencer's. Marks and Spencer's is like the British, the Israeli embassy on the British High Street. Marks and it has the potential to spread the campaign all over the country, because there are Marks and Spencer branches in high streets all over Britain. It can be a focus for a renewed campaign to isolate the Israeli state. So if you want to support us in building a campaign to boycott M&S, come and see us. Our store is just right around here. 506 Picadilly. We are organising another picnic of M&S on Tuesday afternoon at 4 p.m. Marks and Spencer on Market Street. We'll be there. But we want to march today to Marks and Spencer to pick that store and to call for solidarity with the Palestinian people. Let me say one more time to go up here. Fight racism, fight terrorism. Israel is a racist state. Israel is an apartheid state. Israel is a terrorist state. And understand that that's what I think, and that's what most people around the world think, because Israel has unleashed a resistance not like they've ever seen before. There's three things. People have seen the cruelty of the occupation, the brutality of it, and like Black Lives Matter has spoken up in support of the Palestinians. People all over the world have supported the Palestinians. They can't stop our movement. Just a year ago today, George Floyd was killed in a movement of 26 million people in the United States was unleashed. And those people have said no to the Palestinians. There's two worlds that we live in. There's the world of the rich and powerful. We know in the Middle East that the United States supports Israel as an attack dog to support the oil supplies. The U.S. supports all the reactionary regimes in the Middle East. When the Palestinian resistance starts, it threatens the whole building. And that's what we want to see. And we will stand for a better world. And we will never win.
Can we say for the BBC, shame on you, shame on
Shame on you! Shame on you! Shame on you! Yeah, believe it or not, it's slightly better than it was. So it shows that when we act, when we tell them, when we email, when we take action at the BBC protest, we do get our voices heard eventually, and people do finally have to report the truth. So it's up to us. It's in our hands. We're up against it, but it's in our hands, everybody. Can I now introduce, please, Tracy Delaney from Northwest Unison. Can we first have a big round of applause to the Fire Brigade Union as well? Separately, you know why we should give a big round of applause to the Fire Brigade Union? Because there was a protest at the Albert factory. There was a protest at the Albert factory, Israel's largest weapons manufacturer in Leicester. And they were on the roof, two of them I think are still on the roof. And they shut it down. Activists from Palestine Action who are doing a remarkable job of shutting down arms factories all over the country. And the fire brigade were called in, but they told the police, we're not going to get them down. And they produced a statement saying we're in solidarity with the Palestinians and we believe in the right to protest. So now can we have another very supportive member of trade unions, Tracy Delaney from Northwest Unison. Thank you.
Thank you for having me here today. I'm bringing a message of solidarity and support from Unison Northwest International Committee. Whilst the so-called ceasefire is a crucial respite from the Israeli slaughter, which has killed hundreds of Palestinians, including 67 children, it is at best a temporary relief. Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, still under a brutal occupation and siege, living in an open-air prison, are no more secure now than they was last week. And Palestinians around the world have not yet seen their rights realised. For Palestinians in Gaza, East Jerusalem and the West Bank, Israel's regime of violence, oppression and apartheid continues. Medical Aid for Palestine reports that the constant Israeli bombardment has killed 243 children, including 67 children, according to the Defence for the Children of International, and wounded over 1,900 more Palestinians. It's a bloodbath and it's a war crime. MAP says that many of those injured will require extensive surgery and rehabilitation to recover, and the mental health impact of the massacres on Gaza's 2 million population is immense. A population already traumatised by repeated attacks and 14 years of illegal closure and blockade. The vicious assault of the past 2 weeks has caused almost nearly 100,000 people across Gaza to flee their homes, including 66,000 people seeking protection in 58 United Nations schools. They are living in horrific, overcrowded conditions amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, which has already decimated Gaza's healthcare system. A renewed surge in the virus is likely to be seen for weeks to come. More than 1,450 residential units have been destroyed and more than 13,000 have been damaged. 22 hospitals and clinics have also been damaged, including a COVID-19 testing and vaccination centre. The situation in East Jerusalem and Gaza cannot be separated from the wider context of the occupation and the annexation, the expansion of settlements, repression and the apartheid, and the exploitation of national resources and violations of human rights. The massacre of hundreds of Palestinian civilians and the destruction of homes, the infrastructure is a deliberate escalation by the Israeli authorities to ensure the policy of ethnic cleansing and the caging of Palestinians in Gaza and continue this pressure without resistance. As the media attention, as one-sided as it has been, inevitably disappears, it is vital that we not just continue, but we step up our solidarity with the Palestinian brothers and sisters. Last week, my union, along with others around the world, stood in solidarity with the trade unions and workers in Palestine and Israel who called a general strike and walked out of their jobs. causing disruption to hospitality, construction and transport services. We must continue to support their cause for peace, justice and rights. The most crucial act of solidarity is to make demands of our own government. The UK government must act now to end the UK's arms trade with Israel and support calls for a UN arms embargo, ban trade with illegal settlements and suspend the UK-Israel Association Agreement, demand a halt to the planned evictions of families in Sheikh Jarrah and other communities, the destruction of Palestinian homes and other properties and the building of illegal settlements which violate fundamental human rights. These are illegal under international law and undermine the prospects of a viable Palestinian state. Unison has been urging members to lobby their MPs to demand that the government take action. We encourage branches to support the Medical Aid for Palestinians emergency appeal and to affiliate to the Palestine Solidarity Campaign. Finally, we must step up the campaign for the boycott, divestment and sanctions as a peaceful means to end the occupation. Now, more than ever, our Palestinian brothers and sisters need our solidarity and we must not fail them. End the apartheid and free Palestine. Thank you.
Now listen everybody, one thing we have to remember is that it isn't just all the population in Gaza, it's the population in the West Bank, it's the population in Jerusalem, and not just that, but it's those on the front lines. And I want us all to say we salute you when we talk about some of those that have been right in the middle of the warfare in Gaza. So can we have it please? All the Gaza martyrs! We salute you, okay? We'll try it again. The nurses! Emergency workers! The doctors! The carers! The mothers! The resistance! We all have to remember that when you're a doctor or a nurse in Gaza, you are running into the bullets, you are running into the bombs, and the same with the photographers and the media and everybody else. You are going directly into the bombs, and that's how courageous you have to be. So, like I said always, one thing I took back from Gaza was we have so much more in the tank, we can give so much more, because when you're up against it, they produce miracles, things that we couldn't imagine, and we've got it all in us. We really have got it all in us. We can go further, and if we do, can you imagine Palestinians returning to Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem and Gaza? Right, I think that the cyclists are arriving. Can anyone at the back see them or not? I'm not sure. It's waving. Can you see them? Right, okay. Right, what we're going to do is, for those who are at the back of the march could actually look that way, I think you'll see them doing a dive-in where they are simulating the destruction in Gaza. But for all those who can't see, we're going to have a minute's silence, and I'm going to read the names of the Palestinians. I'm going to let Adnan from Palestine read the names. I've got the names, yeah. Of the Palestinians who have been killed, the children that have been killed in the attacks on Gaza. Over 65 children have been killed in the attacks in Gaza. Over 218, I believe, the latest number, but I think it's really more than that now. So please, just give me a second. We're going to take a minute. Can we all just get some silence to start with, please? No, give them a cheer. No, give them a cheer. Sorry,
From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! From the river justice! No peace! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine!
Right, everyone, so what we're going to do is Adnan here is from Settled in Palestine. Can you give Adnan a big round of applause? And he's gonna say some words, and then he's gonna read the names of those fallen in Gaza while we have the minute silence. So we'll let Adnan just say some words, and then he's gonna lead it afterwards. Okay.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين. We are both of you together once more as one big family. As you can tell, we are not segregated by race, we are not segregated by gender, and we are not segregated by religion. Just one big family that supports the Palestinian cause. I just want to start by saying thank you to everyone who has been coming today and the past few weeks protesting for Palestine. It is because of you guys and everyone who has been protesting for Palestine all across the UK and all across the world, we have managed to, alhamdulillah, have a change and an impact on what's going on in Palestine. So I think we need to give a big, massive round of applause for everyone who's here today. 2 days ago, the Israeli army has declared a ceasefire in Gaza. Now that's very good news, alhamdulillah. That's actually very good news. But we need to ask ourselves, does ceasefire mean the end of occupation? No! Does ceasefire mean the end of the ethnic cleansing? No! Does ceasefire means the end of the brutality of the Israeli army? No! It doesn't. Ceasefire to them simply just means that we're making you value that you're not getting killed and you're not being shot by Israel. But no, we need to tell them and we need to let them know of the people of Gaza and Palestine. Ceasefire will not make us forget the blockade that is not lifted. Ceasefire will not make us forget that we are still occupied. Less than 24 hours after they have declared ceasefire, the Israeli army once more stormed the Masjid al-Aqsa and attacked innocent, unarmed civilians. So we should not stop protesting. We should not stop posting on our social media. And we should not stop fighting for Palestine. Ceasefire is only the beginning, and we will not stop on fighting until Palestine is free. Now I just want to finish off by actually reading the names of the murdered children in Palestine. But before we do that, I would assume that most of us that are standing here are Muslim. So we need to know that before we would do that, the names of people that have died, we need to recite Surah Al-Fatiha at least. So I just thought you can go with me. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Malik Yawm al-Din. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. No clapping, don't clap for Quran. Right. Takbir! Takbir! Right. We will just do 1 minute of silence.
I just wanted to add, there's actually been a few people here who were friends of those that were killed in the Manchester bombing 2 years ago, and a few of those are here supporting Palestine today. Can we give them a round of applause?
So we are, because it is the second anniversary, obviously today is all about Palestine. We're going to read the names first with a minute's silence about the names of those, but also spare a thought for those that are here as well, who were friends of those that were killed in the arena bombing. It's the 2-year anniversary as well, okay? So now we're going to have 1 minute's silence for all the victims, and then after that, Adnan and Khalid, could you both read the children's names who sadly have been killed again in Palestine, martyred by the criminal Israeli bombing army. So we'll pass this on now, and we're going to have 1 minute's silence first. Everybody, 1 minute's silence while we think of those fallen from now.
What?
هلا حسين رفعت رفيع، خالد عماد، خالد قنوع. Can you hear me now? Yeah. هلا حسين رفعت رفيع, she's 13. خالد عماد قنوع, 17. حور مؤمن جمال الزميلي, 2 years old. إبراهيم محمد إبراهيم الرنفيسي, 7 months. أحمد رامي محمود الحوزري, 14. محمد سلامي محمد أبو داير, 9 months old. فوزي ناصر محمد أبو فارس, 17. لينا محمد محمود عيسى, 13. أمير رفعت محمد تناني, 6. أحمد رفعت محمد تناني, 2 years old. أدهم رأفت محمد تناني, 4 years old. إسماعيل رأفت محمد تناني, 7 years old. بثينة محمود عيسى عبيد, 6 years old. أميرة محمد محمود العطار, 6 years old. محمد زين محمد محمود العطار, 9 months. إسلام محمد محمود العطار, 8 years. عطلة ريان, 17. محمود عمر صديق كمايل, 17. علي أيمن صالح أبو عالية, 15. عامر عبد الرحيم سنوبر, 16. محمد دامر حمدان مطر, 16. زيد فاضل محمد قيسية, 17. محمد عبد الرحيم همايل, 15 years old. محمود حامد حسن طلبة, 12. عبد الرحمن أشرف عبد الله جودة, 12. محمد أحمد عطية بهاء, 17. أسامة محمد صبحي الحديدي, 5. صهيب محمد صبحي الحديدي, 12. يحيى محمد صبحي الحديدي, 10. عبد الرحمن محمد صبحي الحديدي, 7. يامن ألاء محمد أبو حطاب, 5. بلال ألاء محمد أبو حطاب, 9. مريم ألاء محمد أبو حطاب, 7. يوسف علاء محمد أبو حطاب, 10. يارا محمد مؤمن القولق, 9. حال محمد مؤمن القولق, 12. لولا محمد مؤمن القولق, 5. يزن رامي رياض الإفرنجي, 13. أمير رامي رياض الإفرنجي, 9. ميرا رامي رياض الإفرنجي, 11. لنا رياض حسن إسخنتا, 5. حنا شكري أمين القولق, 14. يحيى رياض حسن إسخنتا, 4. زين رياض حسن إسخنتا, 2. زيد عزت معين القولق, 8. حسين سامح فواز القولق, 6 months. آدم عزت معين القولق, 3. ديما رامي رياض الإفرنجي, 15. توفيق أيمن توفيق أبو العوف, 17. دانا رياض حسن إسخنتا, 9. أحمد شكري أمين القولق, 15. تالا أيمن توفيق أبو العفوف, 13. عبيدة أكرم عبد الرحمن جوابرة, 17. رفيف مرشد كامل أبو داير, 10. محمد صابر إبراهيم سليمان, 15. براء وسام أحمد الغرابلي, 5. Mustafa Muhammad Mahmoud Ubaid, 16. Rahaf Muhammad Atullah al-Masri, 10. Yazan Sultan Muhammad al-Masri, 2 years old. Hussein Munir Hussein Hamad, 11. Ibrahim Abdullah Muhammad Hassanain, 16. Marwan Yusuf Atullah al-Masri, 6. Ibrahim Yusuf Atullah al-Masri, 11. Lina Iyad Fathi Sharir, 15. Rashid Muhammad Rashid Abu Arwa, 16. Nadine Awad, 16. Ido Abigal, 5. Hamza Mahmoud Yassin Ali, 12. Yahya Mazen Shahada Khalifa, 13. Hamad Atiya Abdul Amur, 13. Ammar Taysir Muhammad al-Amur, 10. Bashar Ahmed Ibrahim Sammour, 17. Zaid Muhammad Audat al-Bani, 4. Yusuf Rafiq Ismail al-Baz, 13. Islam Wa'il Fahmi Dar Nasser, 16. Mina Iyad Fathi Sharir, 2 years old. Nagham Iyad Abdul Fattah Salha, 2 years old. Dima Saadi Ali Asalia, 10 years old. Rashid Abu Amr, 16. Saeed Oda, 16.
Takbir! 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 1, 2, 3, 4! Where's that cabinet? From the These names should never be forgotten. Of course, these were not the only people that were killed during Palestine. There's been more than 240 people that were shuhada, that died in Palestine due to the airstrikes from the Israeli army. We will never forget these names, and we will always fight for Palestine. La ilaha illallah والشهيد حبيب الله. 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 Thank you. Right, everybody, we've got another 5 minutes before we're all going to march. I need to say a few things about that. We're going to march that way, but everyone's going to go slow. If we start going quick, people are going to get trampled. Please be careful of those around you and look around to make sure everything... Because it's disgusting. Now, who supports Man United over there? Man United. But very first, we're going to run through very quickly, because we have a long list of them, very quickly before we march, just a couple more speakers. Palestinian Forum have been big supporters of this event, and they put the word out to a huge amount of people. So I'm going to hear Dr. Aziz from Palestinian Forum. Could you please say a few words?
Right. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you all. We have done it last week, the demonstration. Please, for all the organizers. Please, for all the organizers. Thank you very much. We don't want a repeat of last week. Please stay online. Use the left-hand side. Leave the right-hand side for the traffic. You have a traffic warden with you, the stewards, and the police are between us and the public. Please obey and follow the guidelines of public as well. Now, we are here, and we ourselves, we stand for the rights of the Palestinians, for their homeland, a state which we used to live. As I said, for 1400 years, Palestine was in peace. In peace between all religions and those of no religion. Until 1917, the British mandate, which is between brackets, an occupation, colonization of the Muslim land. And we have this government is responsible for every life of a baby who will die today or tomorrow or even until this.
اعطيك العلم الصيح فلسطين اصورك تعال على السيارة هات موبايلك خلنا اصورك موبايل طفى شحن هات موبايلك هات موبايلك هات موبايلك حط تعال على السيارة
No justice, no peace! No justice, no peace! And the occupation now! 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 And the occupation that every life matters. Every life matters. And I want you all to remember, humanity is one society. We have one earth. We cannot live anywhere. We live on earth. So we have to defend any justice.
Pretty difficult. Yeah, exactly, brother.
And we stop dictatorships. Anywhere, military have to stop the civil society.
Can you tell us what is
democracy?
where are you from, brother?
I am from Syria.
You're from Syria.
Yeah.
You're coming here to support the Palestine people, right?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about this protest. What time did you come? What time did you come? Just coming now. Important to support Palestine, isn't it? Yeah. So because in Syria it's happening nothing like that, right? Nothing like that, but you're supporting the Palestinian people. Very good, man. Thank you very much, man. Nasser.
I stopped teaching because of the hypocrisy. And school should citizenship should teach people how to debate, freedom of speech, and the British values should be done. We should build the future generation for a peaceful world. We have to stop the war now. We have to stop the war now. And I finished like Mitchell, where he sorted the problem between Northern Ireland and the British. He said all conflicts are sustained. Sustained how? Because armed trade is the most profitable at the expense of life. At the expense of life. I'm from Algeria, 132 years of French occupation, and the Algerian, they fought until it got their independence after 132 years, and they are getting it now. And the occupation now! And the siege of Gaza 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 now! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! What do you want? What do you want there? What do you want? What do you want there? What do you want? What do you want there? Free, free! Free, free! Right, quickly, Ashley, come over from Bradford.
We are standing here today as humanity because we have moral and empathic belief that the Palestinian people deserve human rights. We believe that no child is worth more than any other. We believe that the world now that is prioritising which children don't matter is a thing that we cannot stand. We stand for humanity, and the Palestinian children have as much right to life and freedom as anybody, as any child in any country. That's what we fight for. It's not about the bombing. It's not. It's about what Israel do literally 8 hours after the so-called ceasefire, when we start attacking worshippers of the Holy Al-Aqsa Mosque. This is abhorrent. And if we're living in a world that can turn a blind eye to that, how on earth can we expect the Palestinian people to not resist that? To not resist the fact that their children are taken away from their parents in their neighbourhood, that they're arrested on the street and dragged away until Palestine has the rights that the Israeli children have. We fight on! We fight on! We free Palestine! We free Palestine! We free Palestine!
Right, we're going to finish up now with Ola, who's Palestinian. She's 16 years old, originally from Nablus. After that, we're going to all start to walk down the main road. And one big thank you to John Mahat, who was just on the sound system today. Nobody on this planet could have done what he did today with that sound system, I'll tell you. Nobody. And also, as you leave very quickly, Alafia are selling for Palestinian causes the kafiyas. If you want the kafiyas, they're down here as well, along the side, as well as some Palestine hats. And sign up, there's PSC sheets there, Palestine for Life campaign, please, we've got to communicate with each other. Now we're going to finish in St. Peter's Square, okay, so you can also sign there. It's going to go slow, there's loads of us, right? Can you look around and see how many there are, right? So it's going to be slow. Respect people in the streets, right? The streets of Manchester are supporting Palestine now, so don't start attacking the regular people in the streets. But remember, we are boycotters. We will end the links between the UK and Palestine. And so we're going to march down Market Street, up down Deansgate, loads of us of course, and then we'll end up Peter Street, wandering up to St. Peter's Square, where there'll be a few more people. There'll be an open mic. I want to get more Palestinian people speaking, because they've been brilliant today. Give a round of applause to the Palestinian speakers. And let's finish with Aya from Nablus. Give her a big round of applause, everybody.
It breaks me to see how the world has normalised the killing of innocent people in Palestine, as the media pushes them away from headline news. They disregard them from any importance, when in fact they are human just like me and you. My heart aches as my homeland is abused daily and show no sense of humanity. All I want to do is return to a free Palestine. And I would also like to say how strong Palestinians are every day. We need to be like them. How many more Palestinians have to die for the world to wake up? How many more kids have to die for the world to wake up? I would just like to say, to end this, you can't defeat a country protected by Allah.
Around the statue, please try and grab placards and banners, and please take them at the end. Please leave them at the end at St. Peter's Square. Bring them back to the organisers. We need all of them back. Mohammed Salah. Alright, okay, thank you Mohammed from Egypt. Okay everybody, so let's get some chanting going. Let's start marching towards the banner at the front, okay? Down Market Street, okay? Everybody can see that. And now we'll have a little Palestinian guy saying free Palestine, leading the chants. Okay, what's it? Omar, and where are you from, Omar? Egypt. Oh, he's from Egypt, right, well, how are we going? Come on, you start talking, Omar.
Free!
From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free! Wall by wall, Israeli apartheid is going to fall. Brick by brick, wall by wall, Israeli apartheid is going to fall. Brick by brick, wall by wall, Israeli apartheid is going to fall. Brick by brick, wall by wall, Israeli apartheid is going to fall. Free, free, Palestine! 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 Are we going to shut down the arms factory in Ireland? Next Tuesday at 3:30 on Green Acres Road, we have another vigil at the Oldham factory, another protest. It's on Tuesday, it's in Oldham, you'll see the information at 3:30, 3:30, it's at Cairo House. That is the only Israeli weapons factory in the north of England, and Elbit is Israel's largest producer of drones. Most of the people killed in Gaza have been killed by drones. They make money off the deaths of so many Palestinians. This should not be on our streets. Free, free! Palestine! Palestine! Palestine!
Palestine and Palestine in the diaspora. Salute to Jerusalem, to Gaza, to Khan Younis, to Gaza, to everywhere in Palestine, every single village, every single people.
Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! What's your name? Fahad is another young Palestine supporter. Give Fahad a round of applause! He's going to take over the chanting. Go on, Fahad, go for it. Free, free! Palestine! 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 1, 2, 3, 4! Occupation no more! 5, 6, 7, 8! Israeli terrorist! Free, free! Palestine! Free, free! Palestine! Let's be US, let's be US!
We are all Palestinians!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Let's move, guys, let's move, let's move! Let's move, let's move! Remember Palestinians! Remember all the Palestinians! You have sacrificed their lives! Come on, 1, 2, 3, 4!
Occupation no more!
5, 6, 7, 8! 1, 2, 3, 4!
Occupation no more!
government!
Israel is a terrorist state!
Free
Palestine! In our millions, in our billions, we are all Palestinians! In our millions, in our billions, we are all Palestinians! In our millions, in our billions!
Free! 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 From the river to the sea! Free! 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 From the river to the sea! Viva! Viva Palestina!
Viva, viva Palestina!
Viva! Viva Palestina!
Viva, viva Palestina!
القدس رايحين شهداء بالملايين.
القدس رايحين شهداء بالملايين.
Free! Free Palestine! Free! Free Palestine! 1, 2, 3, 4! 1, 2, 3, 4! 3, 6, 7, 8!
Israel is a terrorist state!
1, 2, 3, 4! 1, 2, 3, 4! 5, 6, 7, 8! Free! Free Palestine! Free! Free Palestine!
Anyone want to get them out? You got one of the kind of voice that the Islam guy would like to work with. Is anyone like to get them out? Got time to talk.
Israel is a terrorist state. 1, 2, 3, 4. Occupation no more. Israel is a terrorist state. Palestine will be free. Palestine will be free. Palestine free. Palestine free. Palestine free. Occupation no more. Israel is a terrorist state.
Free!